What if the very air you breathe inside your home, the furniture you kick back on, or even the products you use to keep things clean are quietly messing with your health? It's a pretty unsettling thought, right? But here's the kicker. Indoor air can be 2 to 5 times more polluted than the air outside, and sometimes way, way worse. We're often just living in this invisible chemical haze without even realizing it. Hey everyone, welcome. Today we're not just talking about those pesky dust bunnies or a bit of clutter. We're going much deeper into the hidden world of toxins that could be lurking in your home. Your home is supposed to be your sanctuary, your safe haven. But what if it's not quite as safe as you think? So many everyday things, from that spray promising a fresh scent to the mattress you sleep on every night, can be slowly releasing a stream of chemicals. And these aren't just vague worries, they're linked to actual health issues. We're talking about things like volatile organic compounds, VOCs for short. These are gases that seep out from certain solids or liquids, and they're found in literally thousands of products. Breathing in VOCs can lead to a whole host of problems, from annoying headaches and dizziness to irritating your eyes, nose, and throat. And if you're exposed for a long time, that's when it can get more serious, possibly contributing to chronic respiratory problems, allergic reactions, and even damage to your liver, kidneys, and central nervous system. Some VOCs are even known to cause cancer. And it's not just VOCs we need to be aware of. There are also hormone-disrupting chemicals like phthalates, which often hide in fragranced products and plastics. Then there are flame retardants in our furniture and electronics, and even pesticides in some cleaning agents. These substances can build up in our bodies and in our homes, creating an environment that might be making things like asthma and allergies worse, or even contributing to bigger long-term health concerns like reproductive issues or a higher risk of cancer. The truth is, your home might look beautiful and feel comfortable, but it could also be, unfortunately, quietly toxic. But please don't despair. The good news is that knowing this stuff is half the battle. There are so many simple, natural ways to find these threats and, most importantly, fix them. Stick with me and we'll uncover these invisible troublemakers and arm you with the solutions to reclaim your home as a truly healthy haven. Let's start in a place most of us link with being healthy and hygienic, under the sink, in our cleaning cabinets. Ironically, the very products we trust to get rid of germs and dirt can be some of the biggest sources of indoor pollution. That clean lemon or pine scent you love. Often, it's actually a cocktail of synthetic fragrances and chemicals, including those VOCs we just talked about. A 2023 study looked at 30 common cleaning products and found they released a whopping 530 unique VOCs. Out of those, 193 were flagged as hazardous, linked to things like respiratory damage, increased cancer risk, and developmental or reproductive harm. Think about aerosol sprays, the ones for cleaning, for freshening the air, even some beauty products. When you spray them, those chemicals go airborne, making them incredibly easy to breathe in. Using cleaning sprays regularly, even just a few times a week, has been linked to a higher risk of asthma, especially in young adults, and can make existing asthma worse. Kids are particularly vulnerable because they breathe faster than adults, so they take in more of these pollutants relative to their little bodies. Exposure to cleaning products during pregnancy has even been connected to persistent wheezing in babies during early childhood. Some common culprits hiding in conventional cleaning supplies include chlorine bleach. Sure, it's a strong disinfectant, but it can cause some pretty nasty burns and respiratory issues. And if you mix it with ammonia, another common cleaner, it creates toxic gases that can lead to chronic breathing problems or, honestly, even be fatal. So, definitely don't do that. Ammonia, which is often found in glass cleaners and polishes, is a known respiratory irritant. Then there are phthalates. These are often lurking in synthetic fragrances, that perfume on the label. They're endocrine disruptors, which means they can mess with your body's hormone systems. Triclosan is another one. This antimicrobial agent used to be in a lot of antibacterial soaps and detergents. It's also linked to hormone disruption and potentially antibiotic resistance. While its use has gone down in some products thanks to regulations, you can still find it here and there. And, yep, even formaldehyde shows up in some cleaning products like disinfectants and oven cleaners. It's a known human carcinogen and can instantly irritate your eyes, nose, and throat. And get this, even products labeled green or natural aren't always totally safe. Some can still contain ingredients that might cause health problems or release VOCs. The key is to become a bit of a label detective, or even better, switch to truly simple, natural alternatives, which we'll get into in a bit. That fresh scent of clean really shouldn't come at the cost of your health. Alright, let's move into our living spaces. You know that new sofa smell? Or the smell of a freshly painted nursery? While those scents might make you think of a fresh start or a cozy upgrade, they can also be sources of some serious chemical off-gassing. Furniture, carpeting, paints, and even building materials often contain a whole bunch of chemicals that slowly release into your indoor air, sometimes for years. Formaldehyde is a big one here. It's a colorless, strong-smelling gas that's used a lot in making pressed wood products like particle board, plywood, and MDF. These are super common in furniture, cabinetry, and even some types of flooring. It's also used in glues, paints, and some textiles. The EPA has classified formaldehyde as a known human carcinogen, meaning long-term inhalation can increase the risk of cancers like leukemia and nasopharyngeal cancer. Even short-term exposure can give you headaches, a sore throat, itchy eyes, and a cough. For people with asthma or other respiratory conditions, formaldehyde can trigger attacks or make symptoms worse. An EPA report from early 2025 confirmed that formaldehyde poses an unreasonable risk to human health. And it's not just formaldehyde. Researchers have found a whole slew of other concerning chemicals. Flame retardants, for instance. These have been added to furniture foam, electronics casings, and textiles for decades to try and slow down fires. But many of these chemicals, like organophosphates and PBDEs, are linked to serious health issues, including hormone disruption, neurodevelopmental problems, especially in kids, thyroid issues, and cancer. The scary part is, they don't just stay in the products. They sneak out and settle in household dust, which we then breathe in or ingest. Recent research even suggests some flame retardants might harm oligodendrocytes, which are specialized brain cells. And then there are VOCs in paints and finishes. While you can find low VOC and zero VOC paints pretty easily now, traditional paints, varnishes, and finishes are major sources of VOCs that can off-gas for months or even years after they're applied. Plus, chemicals in carpeting are another concern. Carpets can be like a sponge for various chemicals. One study pointed out butylated hydroxyanisole, or BHA, in carpet flooring at levels 800 times higher than recommended, and hexamethylene diisocyanate at levels thousands of times higher than what's considered safe, causing irritation and potential long-term lung problems. And, yeah, synthetic carpets can shed microplastic fibers too. When you add up all these chemicals from different sources in our homes, it can create an indoor environment that's surprisingly hazardous. One tip: if you're moving into a newly built or renovated home, try to wait a few weeks before moving in, if possible. This can help allow some of the strongest initial off-gassing to clear out. And when you're buying new furniture, looking for items made with solid wood, natural fibers, and things that explicitly say no added formaldehyde or low VOC can really make a difference. Beyond the big things like furniture and the obvious culprits like cleaners, toxins can be hiding in a surprising number of everyday products. And then there's household dust. It's not just dirt and pet hair. It's actually a cocktail of chemicals shed from all these different products. Let's think about some common items. Scented products, for example. We've mentioned air fresheners, but this also includes scented candles, plug-ins, and even some personal care products. Many of them release VOCs and synthetic fragrances that can irritate your respiratory system and potentially mess with your hormones. Paraffin-based candles, which are the most common kind, can release things like toluene and benzene, known carcinogens, as they burn. Plastic containers and packaging are everywhere, right? And many contain chemicals like phthalates and bisphenols, like BPA, that can leach into our food and drinks, especially when they're heated. These are known endocrine disruptors. Exposure to these plastic-associated chemicals has been linked to a wide range of health issues, affecting birth outcomes, kids' neurodevelopment, and reproductive health. Non-stick cookware is super convenient, but when some non-stick coatings get overheated, especially older ones or those that are scratched, they can release per- and polyfluoroalkyl substances, or PFAS, often called forever chemicals. PFAS stick around in the environment and in our bodies for a long time and are linked to a ton of health problems, including immune system suppression, liver issues, thyroid disease, and an increased cancer risk. Dryer sheets and fabric softeners work by coating your fabrics with a thin layer of chemicals. These often include synthetic fragrances and quaternary ammonium compounds. You might see them called quats. Quats can cause skin irritation and trigger asthma. These chemical residues then stay on your clothes right next to your skin. And those quaternary ammonium compounds, also found in many disinfectants, have recently been flagged as potentially harmful to oligodendrocytes, those important brain cells. Even our clothing, bedding, and upholstery can hold on to chemicals. Aromatic amines, or AAs, found in some dyes, and also released from tobacco smoke, can be absorbed by fabrics like cotton and later released into the air or onto our skin. Long-term exposure to AAs increases cancer risk. Some fabrics are also treated with formaldehyde or flame retardants. And then there's good old household dust. It's like a magnet for all these chemicals. Studies have shown that indoor dust is full of microplastics, phthalates, flame retardants, phenols, and PFAS. We breathe this dust in, and little kids who spend a lot of time on the floor and often put their hands in their mouths have even higher exposure. Microplastics in dust can be inhaled and might lead to respiratory issues, inflammation, and can even carry other toxic chemicals into our bodies. Before we dive into these powerful natural solutions, I have a quick gift for you, something to make this detox journey even easier. Download your free Natural Life Starter Kit using the link below. It's packed with room-by-room checklists, natural cleaning recipes, and daily detox tips to help you create a healthy home with ease. Just click the link in the description to grab your copy. I know it sounds like a lot, maybe even a bit overwhelming, but just being aware of these things is the very first step. Recognizing where these sources are allows us to make smart, targeted changes to cut down on our exposure. Alright, we've talked about a lot of the hidden troublemakers. Now for the really empowering part, the solutions. Creating a healthier home doesn't mean you need expensive gadgets or complicated routines. Often the simplest, most natural ways are the most effective. Let's start with how we clean and the quality of the air we breathe. For cleaning, you can actually ditch a ton of commercial products and replace them with just a few basic, cheap, and super effective ingredients. White vinegar? This stuff is a powerhouse. Mixed with water, usually a 50-50 solution is great. It's fantastic for cleaning windows, mirrors, surfaces, and cutting through grease. Its acetic acid content also gives it some disinfectant power. And don't worry, the vinegar smell disappears pretty quickly. Baking soda. This is an excellent gentle abrasive for scrubbing sinks, tubs, and ovens without scratching. It's also a fantastic deodorizer. Just pop an open box in the fridge or sprinkle it on carpets before you vacuum. Castile soap. This is a vegetable oil-based soap, and it's incredibly versatile. Diluted, you can use it for washing dishes, as an all-purpose cleaner, and even as a base for hand soap, hydrogen peroxide. This is a good disinfectant, especially for bathrooms and kitchens. Just use the 3% solution you can find in most drugstores. Essential oils. If you want a natural fragrance and a bit of an extra antimicrobial kick, A few drops of essential oils like tea tree, lavender, lemon, or orange can be added to your DIY cleaners. Just make sure you're using 100% pure essential oils. Here's a super simple all-purpose cleaner recipe. Fill a spray bottle with half white vinegar, half water, and add about 10 to 15 drops of your favorite essential oil. Easy. Improving your indoor air quality is just as important. Remember, indoor air can be way more polluted than outdoor air. Ventilation is key. This is probably the simplest and one of the most effective things you can do. Open your windows regularly, even if it's just for 15 to 20 minutes a day. This helps flush out pollutants and bring in fresh air. And don't forget to use exhaust fans in your kitchen when you're cooking and in your bathrooms during and after showering to get rid of moisture and airborne particles. Remove shoes at the door. So much dirt, pesticides, and other chemicals get tracked into our homes on the soles of our shoes. Making your home a shoes-off zone makes a surprisingly big difference. Embrace air-purifying plants. Nature has its own amazing air filters. Certain houseplants are really good at removing common indoor air toxins. Some great choices include snake plants, also called sansevieria, spider plants, peace lilies, English ivy, which can actually remove a good chunk of airborne mold, and rubber plants. Vacuum regularly with a HEPA filter. A vacuum cleaner that has a high-efficiency particulate air, or HEPA filter, is a must-have. HEPA filters trap tiny particles, including dust mites, pollen, pet dander, and that chemical-laden dust we talked about, instead of just spitting them back out into the air. Consider an air purifier for an extra layer of protection, especially in bedrooms or main living areas. A good quality air purifier with both a HEPA filter and an activated carbon filter, which helps with VOCs and odors, can be a really worthwhile investment. Ditch synthetic air fresheners and scented candles. Opt for natural beeswax candles, which can actually help clean the air a bit, or diffuse pure essential oils for a lovely, non-toxic scent. Even fresh flowers or a simple bowl of citrus peels can freshen up a room. By making these swaps and getting into these habits, you can dramatically reduce the chemical load from your cleaning routines and really improve the air you breathe every single day. Let's keep going with our home detox and talk about the materials we bring into our homes and how we handle our food. These choices really do play a big part in our overall chemical exposure. When it comes to furnishings and home improvements, there are some simple swaps that can make a big difference. First, choose furniture wisely. Look for pieces made from solid wood instead of particle board or MDF, since those often use formaldehyde-based glues. And if you're getting upholstered furniture, it's a good idea to ask about flame retardant use. Some companies now make a point of saying they don't use chemical flame retardants. Natural fibers like organic cotton, wool, linen, and hemp are excellent choices for your sofas, chairs, and bedding. Next, opt for natural flooring if you can. Solid hardwood finished with a low VOC sealer, bamboo, cork, or natural linoleum are all great alternatives to conventional carpeting or vinyl flooring, which can off-gas VOCs and contain phthalates. If you do have carpet, regular HEPA vacuuming is super important. When you're painting, always go for low VOC or zero VOC paints and primers. These are widely available now, and honestly, they perform just as well as the traditional kinds. Make sure you have good ventilation during and after painting too. For your bedding, towels, and clothing, try to choose natural fibers like organic cotton, linen, or hemp when you can. These are less likely to be treated with harsh chemicals like formaldehyde or flame retardants. Remember how we talked about aromatic amines? Recent research showed that even common fabrics like cotton can absorb these airborne chemicals and then release them. Washing new textiles before you use them can help remove some of those surface treatments. Now let's head into the kitchen and talk about food-related toxins. First, ditch the plastic for food storage. Swap out your plastic food containers for glass, stainless steel, or ceramic alternatives. This is especially important for storing hot foods or for microwaving. Never microwave food in plastic containers, even if they say microwave safe, because heat can make those chemicals leach out even faster. Beeswax wraps are a fantastic, sustainable alternative to plastic wrap for covering bowls and wrapping food. When it comes to cookware, it's a good idea to swap out non-stick pans, especially if they're old or scratched, for options like stainless steel, cast iron, ceramic, or glass cookware. These materials don't have the same risk of releasing PFAS when they get hot. Filtering your drinking water is also a smart move. Tap water can unfortunately contain various contaminants like chlorine, lead, pesticides, and sometimes even microplastics. Investing in a good quality water filter, like one of those countertop gravity-fed systems or an under-sink filter, can significantly cut down on your intake of these things. It's interesting to note that even some bottled water has been found to contain microplastics. Always rinse your fruits and vegetables really well under running water. This helps remove pesticide residues, dirt, and bacteria. If it fits your budget, choosing organic produce can definitely reduce your pesticide exposure, especially for the Dirty Dozen. The Environmental Working Group publishes an annual Dirty Dozen list with the fruits and veggies that have the highest pesticide residues and a Clean 15 list for those with the least. This can help you prioritize where to spend your organic budget. You can also support local farmers who use organic or sustainable practices. That's always a great option. And finally, try to minimize processed foods. Highly processed foods often come in plastic packaging and can be loaded with artificial additives, preservatives, and colorings. Focusing on whole, unprocessed foods is a really key part of reducing your overall toxic load. Making these conscious choices about the materials in your home and how you store and prepare your food can make a huge difference in your daily exposure to harmful chemicals. It all contributes to a healthier environment, both inside your body and in your home. Creating a less toxic home isn't something you do once and then you're done. It's more of an ongoing practice, a routine you build over time. And please, don't feel like you need to change everything overnight. That can be super overwhelming and pretty expensive. Instead, focus on making small, sustainable changes that really add up to a big impact. Here's how you can build a simple home detox routine. So let's talk about daily practices. First up, air it out. Make it a daily habit to open your windows for at least 15 to 20 minutes, no matter the season. This lets fresh air circulate and helps pollutants escape. Next, shoes off at the door. Such a simple step, but it stops a lot of outdoor pollutants from even entering your home. Wipe down surfaces using a damp microfiber cloth. They trap dust really well, or your natural all-purpose cleaner to quickly wipe down kitchen counters, dining tables, and other surfaces you use a lot. This helps keep dust from building up. And for those daily spills or light cleaning tasks, reach for your DIY vinegar spray or your Castile soap solution. Now, moving on to weekly practices. Start with thorough vacuuming. Vacuum all your floors, carpets, and upholstery using that trusty vacuum with a HEPA filter. Don't forget to get into corners and under furniture where dust loves to hide. Next, dust all surfaces, including electronics, shelves, and windowsills, using a damp cloth or a microfiber duster. Then, wash your bedding sheets, pillowcases, and duvet covers in hot water, if the fabric allows it, to get rid of dust mites and their allergens. Think about using natural, fragrance-free detergents here too. And finally, clean bathrooms using your natural cleaners. Baking soda for scrubbing, your vinegar solution for surfaces and glass, and hydrogen peroxide for disinfecting, to give your sinks, toilets, showers, and tubs a good clean. Every month, and with each new season, it's a good idea to set aside some time for a more thorough cleaning of areas you might not get to every week. This could mean, washing your windows, cleaning the blinds, wiping down baseboards, and cleaning out the refrigerator. Don't forget to check and clean the filters in your HVAC system, air purifiers, and even your vacuum cleaner, following whatever the manufacturer recommends. Also, wipe down those air vents to remove any dust buildup. It's important to regularly check spots that tend to get damp, like bathrooms, basements, and undersinks, for any signs of mold or mildew. If you do find any, Try to deal with it quickly using natural solutions like vinegar or a specialized eco-friendly mold cleaner. Regularly decluttering your home actually helps reduce the number of items that can collect dust and potentially off-gas chemicals. And honestly, it just makes cleaning so much easier. Finally, as products run out or things wear out, try to make a conscious effort to choose less toxic alternatives. For example, when your regular all-purpose cleaner is empty, you can replace it with the ingredients to make your own. Or when you need a new shower curtain, maybe go for fabric like cotton or hemp instead of PVC. This really isn't about achieving perfection. It's all about progress. Every small step you take, every conscious swap you make, contributes to a healthier living environment for you and your family. The goal is to create a home that truly supports your well-being, a sanctuary where you can breathe easy, literally and figuratively. Feeling inspired to start detoxing your home? I hope so. And remember, it doesn't have to be overwhelming. Pick just one thing from our chat today to try out this week. Maybe it's swapping out your air freshener for a diffuser with some lovely essential oils, or maybe it's whipping up that DIY vinegar cleaning solution. Small changes honestly do add up. What's your favorite natural home tip? Or what's the first change you're thinking about making? I'd love to hear your thoughts and ideas. Share them in the comments below. Let's learn from each other. If you found this helpful, please give it a thumbs up. And don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on more tips for creating a healthier and happier life. Your home really should be the place where you feel safest and most nurtured. By understanding the potential hidden toxins and embracing these simple, natural solutions, you can transform your living space into a true sanctuary. It's a journey, not a destination. But every single step you take towards a less toxic home is a step towards better health and peace of mind for you and your loved ones. If you're ready to take your wellness even further, watch this next. Beat bloating without eating less. The shocking truth. It's a must-see for anyone looking to reduce inflammation and feel lighter naturally. Thanks so much for watching, and here's to a healthier home.